Right then, guys. So another tip that I do in winter is well, I do it any time I use maggots. To be perfectly honest with you, is I've just already added it to this, so I'm not gonna add more because I already added 2 handfuls to it. But they really are nice. The maggots from down here are really nice, honestly. You're not getting no really strong smell or ammonia of the old maggots that are old. But what I do here is I will add. I've got crumb here in 2 forms. I've got one that's been through the blender, but it's chopped. It's got the odd bits. There's no all bits in it. It's just all bits, little bits of bait. It's what I used last time, and I did fairly well on it. You know what I mean? It's just really small food items as far as that looks nearly there. Really small food items. So it's more about attraction than feeding them. Which they will rip bottom up for these. They will rip bottom up for it to get at it. But once they realise that there's bigger food items in that swim, it's them they'll go for. But one of them I'll have a size 6 ridge monkey attached to it. So what I do is I'll go. It's most of you will do this, but maggots will naturally intake whatever you put into a bit of glug or a powder. If you put powder into it, they'll take that powder in. So what I normally do is I'll normally get an handful. Now I've already put 2 big handfuls in of this already, so I ain't gonna put more in. Now this is the KBS crumb. It's beautiful, guys. Honestly, it really is nice bit. So that will be. I put that in with the maggots, and then once that's in with the maggots, again we take the air out of the bag as much as possible. And I think it's called metamorphosis or something like that. It's like they go into an almost a state where they look like they're dead, but they're not. It's just they're dormant, and then as soon as they got a bit of air for a few minutes, the bone back to life. But I'm happy with them. Them maggots, they're a little bit pricey, but they're always bang on because of the match anglers that go here, like I said earlier. Now this is a kilo. This is half a kilo of crumb and half a kilo of chops. Now the crumb and the chops will both be going into the soup, which I took out earlier on out of the freezer, but then I got a bit paranoid about it being about it going off, which it wouldn't have. I mean, we're going down tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We're setting off, but we're not fishing on Sunday. So, but it will. I'm taking it out of the freezer tomorrow morning. I'm sticking in a tub, and I'm going to take it down tomorrow morning. Froze. That will give it near enough 24 hours to defrost. 8 o'clock in the morning out of the freezer tomorrow, and then they're into the tub, and then left in Richard's car, overly wrapped up. If you get what I mean. I don't want it being spilled in his car. It's not something I want to do, you know what I mean? We're going in his car because his car uses less fuel than mine, so it makes perfect sense. It's what all the original umming and ahhing about getting down there with Steve and all that. It just didn't make sense to me. It's if you're going to do something that's more cost effective for you, then do it. It just doesn't make sense. I'm a bit glad that Andrew's not coming up, because I like Andrew Maybury. He's a good lad, honestly, a really good lad. He's a talented artist as well. You know what I mean? The stuff he does is really, really nice stuff, honestly. It's a so I'm a bit gutted that he's not coming down, and also Tom, I'd like to have fished with them too, because they both really know what they're on about. I'm just gonna have to kill this cat what's coming here. Right, so the finger, yeah, I wish they would have come with us. We could have had a laugh, you know. I mean, Richard's looking forward to fishing with them. for one, so he's a bit good about it as well, is it? In there, and Richard's a decent bloke, you know what I mean? But he don't care who fishes with him. He's not bothered. He's like me. He goes fishing to catch carp. It's the only reason I go fishing is to catch carp. I don't go fishing for any other reason than to catch fish. I don't go for the peace, and I don't go for the scenery. I go to catch fish. Simple. If I want to see scenery, I want to peace and tranquility, I go out with a camera. Honest to God, I go out with a camera. But I take my camera with me anyway. That's the other thing. The kit that we're taking down there as well, which I'm going to post this to YouTube just so in case any of you want to know. It will be an 18 to 55 kit length. Whoa. 18 to 55 kit lengths. Now the cheapest chips, guys. But for fish photography, this other 33mm lens, it really is. In my opinion, it's the way to go with fish photography. It's this 18 to 55, definitely. But I'd probably more than likely take the 30mm. I was even thinking about taking this, I will be honest with you. If I can get my rucksack, it's coming. I'm taking a rucksack down. It's like we're taking a lot of money for camera equipment down there, me and Richard. You know what I mean? We don't mess about when it comes to camera equipment. We're taking a lot of money's worth of stuff down with us camera gear. Now, over the last few sessions I've done, this light ring on this, it's mainly for macro photography. It is mainly for macro photography. It's for getting close to subjects with the Tamron with the Tamron macro lens on, and it really does it lights an area up. Now it's a diffuser. So you've got different coloured rings that go on it, red, orange, purple, there's every colour you can think of goes on it. But the images are just far better with it, far better. But the macro lens I use it's an older macro lens, but I love it. So it's something I won't be changing. There's better ones out there, but I love that macro lens. It's when I get back from Watermeadow, I'm going to order a couple of jumping spiders. And I'm going to get a tank for them, and they're going to keep me occupied through winter. You know, during the day I'm going to be able to do some macro photography, some jumping spiders. And I found an online retailer of them that I will be definitely getting a couple of them, well, a few of them, and doing some macro stuff of them in a tank. So and it will be this diffuser that I use a lot, unless I'm thinking of getting some extra lighting in the spare room I've got, and it's already a studio as it is. I've set it up as a studio as it is, so it just needs a little bit of extra lighting added, really, to the area I'm going to use for the macro photography with the jumping spiders. But it's I'm going to do videos on that, so it's going to be a bit between photography and baiting. So if you're not interested in photography, then I would say pretty much you're not going to really be joining me much through winter. But it's all different audience that I'm aiming at, to be honest with you. But photography still interests a lot of most anglers are interested in photography, and they've got a good eye for something that looks good. They really have. Most photographers, I'd say 90% of them have. You only get the odd average angler I fish with. I've never known many of them, but I've known a few that go fishing and they don't take no pictures of sceneries, no pictures of even if they do rod photos with a beautiful sunrise. You know what I mean? You get a lot of anglers that do stuff like that. Now that is an eye for photography, and that is, a lot of them have got a nice eye for composition. They really know a little bit about photography. It's a shame they're not more into it, but I know a lot of it's to do with money. If you're a young lad and you've just got kids, you've got a couple of kids, and that it's an expensive hobby. Do you know what I mean? It really is. But I will be taking this is a lower end camera. It was the first flip screen camera on the market. It's a Nikon D5500, and it was the first flip screen camera that come on market, and I absolutely love it. The screen works, but it's pixelated. It's because the ribbon cable's gone inside this part here, and I've been told that it happens a hell of a lot on these flip screen cameras, so it's something to be aware of. But I pretty much know when my pictures are sharp, I pretty much know I don't even need to look at the screen. So it just comes with experience, that does. But the thing you've got with this is at night it's just excellent for at night. I'm not gonna, but at night it's excellent. It's you're gonna pretty much light a swim up with that, guys. You know what I mean? It's ideal for nighttime photography. So that will be coming with me. That will be coming with me. It will be coming with me in my rucksack, my photography rucksack. And then the other one that will be coming with me is this one, and this is the Nikon D7100, an older camera, but I love it. It's when that pixelated, I thought it was going to break fully, no, it hasn't, but it's pixelated. But the money is is actually in this. This is a Sigma 150 to 600mm contemporary lens, and it is absolutely, in my eyes, one of the best lenses on the market. It's I fish with people with prime lenses that have cost 5-6 grand. Some of them, one guy I was fishing with, and he got a prime lens worth 13 grand. 13 grand. And the guy missed out on a picture of a long-eared owl when I was banging away, and I got some right photos of it. It's not all about having that big lens and I look, because that's what most of it's about. Them guys in Peak District with big lenses, they want to look like the professional photographers, honestly. And then they all go home at the end of the day to their jobs, perhaps being whatever, you know what I mean, working in an office or doing whatever, you know. There's no point spending that type of money. And I tell you something else, honestly, anyone that has got one of these lenses, do not get rid of it because someone says a prime lens is better. If you do, you're crazy. Get nearer to your subject. If you can get nearer to your subject, then your picture quality will always be better. Get a Sigma lens, 150 to 600mm, and get nearer to your subject. Buy a camouflage ghillie suit. Find out where say a barn owl is hunting. Get hunkered down in that field, laid on your stomach, and my tripod goes flat, but I never use a tripod. Not with flight shots, not with owls. They twist, they turn, the same way in areas. And I'll tell you what, honestly, you do not want to miss a photo of an area when it's. I've done it. I've had one in front of me, and it was twisting, turning, doing beautiful things. I'm twisting upside down, falling through air, back up again. I was trying to get it on a tripod, and it never happened. And I will always regret that. Always. A male in area, a grey ghost, unbelievable. Now I've got that experience. It's in my head, and I'll never forget it. It was the first year that I got into photography, but I will never forget it. But the other thing as well, guys, is don't overcomplicate things. At the end of the day, right, the only thing that matters is the picture quality. If the quality of the picture is there, do not think that you have got to shoot in a certain mode just because Joe Blogs says you have on YouTube. Honest to God, the amount of photographers that I see shooting in their in raw or I mean, I shoot a lot in raw myself, but what I'm on about is shooting in manual mode and stuff like that. Honest to God, guys, just when you are photographing nature and more so deer and that, manual mode all day long, they're a slow animal. If you can get near to them, they're a slow animal, but most of it's at range anyways, but in manual mode. But on birds like short-eared owls, hen harriers, goshawks, birds like that, shutter priority mode, a single focal point, and honest to God, do not be talked out of it going into manual mode, because you'll be a better photographer if you shoot in manual mode. It's absolute shite. So just stick in. Right then, guys, sorry, door went there, so I forgot what I was on. Well, what I was on about the Sigma lens and on its capabilities. Really, it's I do want a prime lens myself, you know what I mean, and it's something I will go down at one point, but I would much rather get closer to the subject. I really would. It's same if you have one of these lenses. I never use it with image stabilization and all stuff like that, and I really don't, honestly. I mean, you may need that when you first start out, but it's about panning and being able to get used to that weight of that lens. It's quite an heavy lens, but I will be going more in depth into the photography stuff later on. But I just thought I'd show you the stuff that I'll be taking down there. And the reason I'm taking this is I'm hoping that while we're down there, it's on course. I'm hoping we're going to bump into a short-eared owl at some point. If not, we may get a badger later on at night. So there you go, guys. We may get one definitely in the morning, if not at night. On the morning, we go if we get up a bit earlier. We may get one, hopefully. But if not, we might get something else. So it's worth taking. But if we're short on space, then it's I ain't bothered if we're short on space. I ain't bothered about taking 150, 600. This trip's about fishing. I can go back down there for short-eared owls and whatever another time, but it would be nice to get them down there, but we'll try to see what we can do. But that's just a few tips on photography stuff as well, but there'll be a lot more photography stuff coming up, to keep your eye out for that. Have a good day, guys. See you later.